And she's like, I think you sent this to the wrong person. And it's like, hey, it's your girl issa, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And this video I'm going to be reviewing Insecure episode 9, Lowkeytrying. So in this video, it's going to be a review slash recap. So I'm going to be very much breaking each scene down and kind of giving you a bit of input of what I think. And yeah, so let's get into the video. At the beginning of this episode, in order to kind of have a grasp of what happened, I'm just going to quickly touch on what happened in the previous episode, episode 8. So Issa and Lawrence finally had sex. I know some people are like not Issa Lawrence fans, but yeah. And so basically after they had sex, Issa pretty much like walked home. We see her walking home, and it was just pretty powerful to me, like, because most times when girls walk home from a guy's house, it's usually coined as the walk of shame, but I felt like it was the walk felt like a walk of Issa, a walk of Issa moment, and it was just so powerful. And I felt like in that moment she felt pretty content with what happened. Like, if they get back together, great. If they don't, that's fine. So basically from there, I didn't even know what to expect, because honestly they like to tease us. They're like, oh, let me give you some Issa Lawrence, maybe they won't. And honestly, basically the scene starts out with like Issa and Lawrence on the couch. They're having sex multiple times. It's very clear that they miss each other, or they're horny, and they're just going at it, talking. They're just being all cute. Like, in your mind you're like, wait, didn't they just like hook up just last episode? And for a moment, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was one of Issa's dream sequence. Like, I was like waiting, I was like, there's no way, and then boom, like, it's real. I was like, oh my gosh, it's real. So that was pretty exciting, and I loved seeing the scene with them on their laptops. I'm gonna assume they were both like doing their own thing, both being productive, and that was kind of a good take, because we've never really seen that side of their relationship before. Just because literally at the beginning of the show, we did see like Issa was trying to find a hard time, like wondering where she fits in, as well as Lawrence, like he pretty much didn't have a job. So it was just really nice to see both of them being productive and still being together. That's what you call relationship goals, like period. So the kind of first dialogue we get from this scene is when Nathan texts Issa asking her if she can help him move in to his new crib. And Issa feels kind of weird, because like she has this really good thing going on with Lawrence. We don't know whether they're back together. They don't say it. We don't know whether they're like in a situationship. We don't know whether they're exclusive. We don't know anything. She pretty much like kind of brings it up to Lawrence, and not necessarily asking him for his permission, more or less being like, yo, are you comfortable this happens? Like, I'm not sure what we are right now, but I don't want you to be uncomfortable, because basically in the past Issa did cheat on Lawrence. So I think she wants to make sure like a mishap doesn't happen again. So checks in with Lawrence. Lawrence is all Gucci, because she's like, oh, Nathan's my ex. I mean, at first he does the ooh, like, oh, he's your ex kind of thing, but he seems pretty chill about it. So I think that's really cool. Next scene, we see Molly talking to her therapist, Dr. Rhonda. She's pretty much talking about pretty much everyone that has wronged her, like in certain relationships. So Andrew's brother, her dad, Issa, mostly Issa. And Molly has been saying from time that she wants Issa to take the first step. Dr. Rhonda asks, like, does this relationship serve you? And I think that's such a key question to ask when it comes to rekindling friendships or getting back together with an ex. She responded is pretty much like how most people respond. She's my best friend. And that whole like best friend thing is like, sometimes when people have that title of being best friend, it's kind of nerve-wracking or scary to kind of let go of that person, because it's like, oh, but this person has been my ride or die for years. But it's like, your ride or die could have been your ride or die for a season. Like, I believe people come into your life for seasons, and it doesn't mean anything. It just means that, you know, they're meant to do what they're doing in your life, and then they'll just, you know, so sometimes like you don't break up with friends and you guys just drift away. That's why I feel like it's for a season. And then the next one is like, you just see like Issa, she's still thinking of this Nathan thing, because like I don't think she wants to mess what she has going on with Lawrence, even though it's not necessarily set in stone. Like, we don't know, you know, they're dating, whatever. So she just wants advice, right? And she's calling, you know, people. Her brother is like, he's pretty much chowing chicken or something. It looks really delicious, to be honest with you. And it was in that moment like she realized like how much she misses Molly, because like sometimes when stuff happens, like, you know, when you have like good news, when you need someone to talk to, when you think of that one person, it's like, oh my god, like that's the person I want to talk to. And it was so obvious that like Molly was the person she wanted to talk to at that time about Lawrence, because I feel like Molly was the only one that would get that situation. So we kind of have like an Issa dream sequence where you think like Issa like imagines her calling Molly and what Molly would say, and Molly pretty much is like not having it. She's telling Issa that she's selfish, she only thinks about herself, that's the only reason she called, you know, to talk about her problem. I just thought it was funny because I was like, oh wow, that's actually something Molly would say though, like Lowkey. Yeah, so she actually does call Molly, and they set up like a brunch date, and this was like the most awkward brunch ever, honestly. Like Issa was like, hey, and it's that awkward moment because like when you haven't talked to someone in so long, someone that you're so compatible with, but you guys are kind of like walking on eggshells around each other. You don't even know whether to high five each other, give each other a fist bump, you know, hug each other. And we noticed like at first it was so like awkward, like literally. But we see later on that like, you know, they're getting comfortable, they're getting in the zone, you know. They're talking about just like everything that's been going on with that. They don't talk about the block party. And it's so funny because after we see what they truly thought happened at the brunch. So they both talk to their significant others, their situationships, whatever you want to call it. So Molly's talking to Andrew and telling him that, yo, that shit was superficial. It was just fake as hell. And you know, Andrew's like, oh, why didn't you bring up the block party? He was like, because, you know, she didn't bring it up, I showed up, like that's the best I'm gonna do. And that kind of irks me, honestly, because Molly has been saying for the longest time that Issa should be the one to like make the first move. Issa was even saying that, oh, you know, she's always been the one to make the first move. And honestly, in a relationship or in a friendship or whatever, there's always that one person that's gonna compromise more. I said it. Like, as much as like, you know, we want to do like 50-50, sometimes one person is gonna be just gonna put in a little bit more effort, and that's just the truth. And I feel like maybe with Issa, she was probably always the one putting in more, and this time Issa put out that olive brand. So clearly if Molly was so upset, she should have said something. And you see Issa complete 180. Issa's like, oh, like, you know, we didn't talk about the block party, but it was good vibes. Like, you know, I'm gonna be inviting her to my self-care Sunday, and it's gonna be lit. So it was just interesting their takes on it, but I feel like Issa went into it more open-minded than Molly did. So I feel like that's why Issa was able to take away something more than Molly did. Yeah, so then, you know, move to Nathan and Issa. Oh my god, this interaction was so funny. Like her rehearsing what she was gonna say to Nathan, I was just dying. And basically, you know, it was in this moment that Issa pretty much tells Nathan like, yo, I'm seeing my ex again, you know, we're trying it out. And you can tell Nathan still has feelings for her, because he's kind of like bashing Lawrence in a way, like, isn't that the guy you cheated on? Like, you know, Issa throws one back at him. She's like, well, at least he doesn't ghost. And in this moment, Nathan kind of reveals to Issa, you know, why he ghosted her. he didn't really ghost her. He was just dealing with a lot in terms of mental health. And I just think it was just so important for Nathan to be so vulnerable in this moment, just because, like, for him as a black man, like, first of all, like, mental health in the black community is seen as taboo. Like, with that, for it to be a man, a black man, open with his mental health, it was just, I thought it was just super, super awesome. Talking about what he had been through and just trying to figure it out, and he had to kind of step away from everything that was going on in his life to kind of deal with himself. And I think this kind of gave Issa, like, the full picture of why he disappeared on her. So Nathan says something to her that I feel like I want to really highlight in this, like, review / recap. He was like, I got some clarity of the type of people I want in my life, and you're one of them. Like, that's such a big statement, in the sense that sometimes when you go through stuff, when, like, you have time to think, because he had to, like, check out of reality and, like, just deal with him. He had a lot of time to think, had a lot of time by himself, and by him thinking, he was able to come to terms with the type of people he wanted to surround himself with, and Issa happened to be one of them. That's good, you know, they're all cracking jokes and whatnot. And then just fast forward to Molly and Andrew. You know, they're kind of bickering because, like, Molly doesn't follow Andrew to the Clippers game with his brother, and, you know, she's like, why would you make me do something I'm not comfortable with? You know, Molly just being Molly. I wanted to root for Molly because I'm someone that I like seeing both sides. Like, there's always two sides to every story. In this case, like, it just felt like she was just holding grudge after grudge after grudge, and I felt like she just wasn't trying to hear anyone out. It was just super crucial for her to hear someone out. And basically, as Molly and Andrew are bickering, you know, about Andrew's brother and how, like, you know, he's saying, like, you're gonna have to talk to him, like, he's my brother. Guess who walks through the front door? Ding dong, ding dong. Okay, they didn't ring a bell, but Nathan and Issa. And it's pretty awkward because, you know, she's helping him move, and Andrew kind of, like, signals Molly to be like, let them stay, because, like, I think she just brought food or something, and basically she was like, you guys should stay, like, that kind of, like, who's being fake now? And they're really hesitant, but they stayed. And, you know, they're all talking, laughing, you know, honestly, like, with Insecure, I should have expected it. Like, I feel like sometimes when it's, like, going really well, like, they were playing a drinking game, okay? Nathan goes to get more wine, okay? And Molly texts him, see, I'm trying with her. But it doesn't, she mistakenly sends it to Issa and not Andrew. And Issa sees it, and she's like, I think you sent this to the wrong person. And it's like, it was just like, nah. Imagine seeing that text, because again, like, in Issa's mind, everything was Gucci, everything was fine, like, she didn't say anything, so, and she thought everything was good, right? But apparently it wasn't. Issa runs out. Granted, like, I would be so upset if it was me, honestly. Issa runs out and Molly chases after her. Honestly, if Molly didn't chase after her, I would have been like, you're canceled. I mean, I would have been like, the friendship is over, like, no. And she's like, oh, wait. And, you know, they have this bickering, and basically Molly says something. She's like, maybe who you are now and who I am now don't fit anymore. And it's just crazy because Issa is driven. She has a goal. She knows what she wants. And Molly now, she's in a long-term relationship. So I just think it's so interesting that now that they've pretty much grown up from the people they were in the first season to now, she feels like though they don't fit anymore. So basically, Molly having fun, not really thinking about relationship, and Issa not sure where she wants to go in life. Those are people that fit. Like, that's just a toxic friendship. And it was just silence. Like, Issa said the best thing possible. Okay, And then Molly's like, okay, like Molly, what did you expect from Issa? She had it coming. She had it coming. She had it coming. Big things was got. And that's where it ended, guys. Like, tell me what you guys thought of my review / recap. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to your girl Ifa A. And catch me next week talking about the finale, because it's going to be lit. It's going to be low-key blank. If you liked my input on this recap / review, let me know in the comments below. And if you want me to review a TV show, or maybe put my input into it, give it a little Ifa A spin onto it, just comment it down below and I'll be happy to take a look. Ciao.